Welcome back, disc golf fans, to the back nine coverage of the 2022 Philadelphia Disc Golf Open here at Sedgley Woods in Philadelphia, second oldest course in the world, PDGA B tier, and as always, special shout out to our Patreon supporters helping all of this possible. Harry Chace back on the mic with me here. What are you thinking, Harry?
I'm feeling good, reminiscing on last year's tournament as we are through the front nine, now to the back nine. Got a nice little lead here. We'll see if anybody can make a push and shake me out of my boots.
Yeah, and no one on our card left unscathed. Even you found yourself with a little red on the card.
Great correction.
So we're hopping now to hole 10. This is the Cliff House hole. Little temporary hole that is sometimes in play during the year. It's very rare that it's nice and mowed. And we'll be playing to a protected kind of peninsula green with some OB ropes around it.
And for anyone familiar with the grounds here, we do have that mansion there on our left of the tee box. Pretty notable. The name is escaping me at the moment, so if anyone knows and wants to comment it, please do.
Yeah, I've heard tale of Benjamin Franklin something. Not quite sure, but we locals just call it the Cliff House.
Yeah. Would you consider this another must-get birdie?
I would say if this hole was just somewhere out on any course, I would say no. But because you just went through such a stretch of holes where a birdie seemed almost impossible, you really do want to pick one up and kind of give life to your scorecard again. It's not easy to find yourself under par here, and when you have a hole like this amongst so many others, you got to take advantage. We have Mike, myself, and Lucas carding birdies there. Pretty good to see some green again. Moving on to...
Yeah, hole 11 is another temp hole here in the meadow. As you can see, a lot of stakes here, so...
Yeah, this one is less commonly played. Really only in play for the Philly Open. Very easy hole on paper, but a lot of rough, a lot of OB. Must be a precise shot here.
Yeah, another example of if you're pushing too far forward, you're putting yourself out of position. For being, only 250 feet, you definitely want something that's going to finish right up in and check up into that wood's mouth.
And we have all our players near the basket here. See how many of them are putting. So myself, just throw a little wrist flick under the basket. Great putt there from Lucas. Able to collect those 2 quick field holes, and maybe that can give him some momentum heading back into the woods.
You hear a little activity there in the background. This is an inner city course, so you get a lot of the cityscape sounds in the background as you play.
Yeah, playing at Sedgley for a few years definitely helped me kind of hone out all the distractions around. It's just so common being in the loud city that you just have to tune everything out and focus on the task at hand.
Hole 12 normally, hole 25 yellow. As you can see, a lot of woods.
Yeah, we play the yellow one here. The red is down the hill. Is arguably harder. I'm not quite sure how they would score, but this hole is just so far left of of the box and is such a sharp angle, very similar to hole 5, that you really need a truly special shot of something hyzer flipping, something fast but slow. It's really tricky. We see Mike try to go with a splice here to just try to skip around the corner, but it's so far tucked left that a stable disc really just won't cut it. So we'll see a lot of our players have this exact putt right here, and definitely a hole that produces a lot of threes.
Yeah, and from really any of the layouts that you're playing on this particular hole, it's one of the more deceiving from the tee. Oh, wow. Well,
There,
the long range you were mentioning and foreshadowing before, I think we finally find it here on hole 12.
yeah, there we go. Lucas from distance. I mean, hit a few metal hits early, and able to now get 3 in a row. Maybe the momentum is real, and he's feeling it now. Just 4 behind, unless I can make this. So now we're truly out of the hardest holes that we'll play. Um, Certainly some bonus birdies coming up, but none that you can't make a move on.
All right, here we are on hole 13, known as the Mini Blender. Original hole 26 red, coming in at 275 foot par 3. As you can see, it's extremely tight with a guarded basket there at the end.
Yeah, Lucas just throws a textbook shot there. Just all the way down to a putter. He'll be putting for 4 through 4. Hank with a good gap hit there as well. Yeah, that's the one you got to miss.
Oh, what a great shot from Brandon.
Yeah, he'll be happy to get some green on the scorecard again after that rough stretch for him. Shot great in the first round, so we know he can do better, and just showed off some of his talent right there. Great shot.
And that's that Guardian that I was talking about.
Yeah, truly one of the most unique greens at the course.
Yeah, it's a good example of utilizing some things that happen. I mean, this course has been ravaged by storms in the past, so when trees go down, you have to get creative with how to make things more complicated, utilize those down trees to your advantage, and kind of rebuild.
Yeah, and since my big lead kind of happened, I mentioned how crucial that hitting the first caps were to this course, so my mind kind of just went to taking a bunch of pars, sitting pretty at 11 under, and here comes Lucas Oberholtzer Hess with 4 in a row, and my game plan's got to shift a little bit now.
So tell us a little bit about hole 14 here, Harry.
Yeah, this is traditional the finishing hole of the full 27 loop, so this is 27 red. Extremely tight, extremely specific par 4, and you just got to get around the corner, just like most of these holes. Being in the middle, being in the first gap is so much more important than distance. We'll see if anyone can card a elusive birdie 3.
And over the years, I have heard from some of the locals that 27 red by some is considered the only true par 4 on the traditional layout here at Sedgley. And as you can see, it is a 2-stage hole. I mean, you're definitely playing to be up closer to maybe the next set of tee boxes, but you did not find yourself quite far enough around that bend.
Yeah, absolutely no play for birdie from there. So just gonna pitch out to the gap there. Hopefully save a 4.
And with the construction of the meadow area, having had a horse pasture put in, it definitely did change this hole a bit. As you can see, there's a large mound in the center there. That does add a little bit to it.
Yep, also notably missing pretty large tree that was right in the middle of this gap too that protected it a bunch, but this mound conveniently does shape the hole in a certain way. As this is a super important shot here. Lucas into the woods, but maybe he snuck through a little bit and we'll have a little putt.
Nice touch there.
Wow, this is a great view of Lucas right here.
He's really chasing you down here.
Yes, he is. 5 in a row for the kid. And took advantage of having a little lane to putt through there. Super impressive.
I'm starting to see that maybe in this round, Brandon's putting stroke does just seem a little off, like the timing. Not quite as solid as we're used to seeing from him.
Yeah, I definitely can agree with that.
Sometimes getting on coverage does change things for you, you know? All right, hole 15 brings us into the middle section of the 27 holes here at Sedgley. 300-foot par 3. Traditional hole 11, and as we see, Lucas lacing the drive.
Yeah, at this point, he's on fire for sure. He's a shark, and when he sees blood in the water, he's going to go for it. Super solid golf right now being played by him.
Brandon finds himself early left.
And stepping up to this hole as both a player and a watcher is definitely a breath of fresh air, a lot more airspace, and especially as someone trying to hold on to the lead, it's a lot comfier knowing that you don't have an initial gap 5 feet in front of you to hit.
Yeah, you can really play the right side of the fairway. Have the finish of the disc, just push yourself. There's honestly quite a good clearing here, so the ground play pushes you further towards the green.
Yeah, and if we saw, we're playing from an extended pad, in line with the yellow and blue, but just push back further. So it does make this shot a lot more complex.
Yeah, and one of the few rubber mats that you play on for the event as well, just because it is a modified portion. You could tell he knew immediately that that was not the shot.
Yeah, what you said about Brandon's putt could definitely be said about Hank as well right now. He gets that one to drop, but that's kind of his calling card, I would say, is able to really clean up those 25 footers and in with ease. Hank's been in the game a long time. Actually, a previous Philly Open winner many years ago. Honestly, with what can happen here, still not fully out of it yet. And there it is, Lucas. 6 in a row, 6 down for the round. As he really just revived his round 2 and is just one stroke out of the lead.
Hole 16, which would be coming in at 12 red to the long pin. Honestly, from a casual player standpoint, one of the harder holes on the course.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you see 420 par 4. Should certainly seem like one of the easier birdies you would play, but it is anything but. But once again, placement is key. You could easily go putter putter for any of our pro players here. Getting a little aggressive with an FD here and just a little bit too turned over.
And again, ceiling height coming into play.
Yeah, I was just going to mention that we really don't see too much of low ceiling demanding shots on the Pro Tour anymore. Most wood shots are kind of defined by large trees and tall fairways. So another reason why this course plays tough, it's just an old school style of golf. Although my shot wasn't perfect, it did land in the middle, had a chance to approach down there to the basket just tucked below that we'll see in a few seconds. But looked like I got caught up on that one tree.
This is a really good play from Brandon. High flex shot with a low speed disc.
Absolutely. And another one of these approaches that is more technical than it just is tight. And of course, there's that gap to hit, but you must hit it with the right speed, the right angle. It's a really awesome approach, as this is a huge part of the tournament here. Lucas, and he also gets caught up on top.
Yeah, and I would say the elevation change downward into the green is probably pushing 5-6 feet or so from like the initial gap. So, and it drops off pretty rapidly,
And
as you
Lucas,
can see.
yeah, going for the kill there. That was to tie it up. Super death putt. Myself, I laid it up. Hank doesn't want anything to do with it. And Lucas just one back, wanted to hit that to tie things up. And he'll still have his par putt, and we'll see how far back he is, but that could be a costly mistake. But, he was 6 down through 6. He definitely was feeling hot. See if it comes back to bite him. Oh, no.
Brandon really thinking about this next shot here.
There we go. Good putt from him. So we can see 2 under through his last 4. Able to get back to even par. And you can see he's tied for 4th right now at even par for the tournament. Just shows you how hard this layout plays, because we have a very solid field of local pros here. It's a bunch of tap-ins happening now, and Lucas will card the red number. I will be tapping in my par, and we'll have 2 strokes with 2 to play.
Hole 17 for Philly Open is traditional 17 red for the course. Memorial Garden.
Yeah, this is a really sweet hole. Super fun to play, and actually came in as the easiest hole for our competitors. So for Lucas looking to have a shot back at it, he's got a birdie hole in front of him, and he's got to get this one and hope that I miss it. whizzing by the
All right.
basket there and
Yeah.
a little deep.
Oh, wow.
That was really good.
Solid
Playing it
shot there
close.
from Mike.
Yeah, playing it close to that tree, but really it's in such a good line with the basket that you do want to be hugged up on it. Lucas seems to go deep as well.
Look at that. Yeah, he takes a Marshall right there, and we have nearly the same putt. So it'll be interesting to see who goes first here and how this all happens, as it's really just a two-horse race at this point. Hmm. Could certainly call that a must make for Lucas.
Yeah, it really does take a lot of the pressure off of you for your next.
Yeah, but now this putt is just to slam the door close. Yeah, a little fist pump there. I think at that point I knew that the tournament was truly in my hands, and happy to have a good lead going into the last hole, which can still be tough. It is an island hole, and just circle 1 is in bounds. Circle 2 is out of bounds. The rest is inbound, so we'll see that coming up as tough break there from Hank. But it looks like
Mike with the
he's,
bird.
yeah, Mike with the bird. Looks like Hank's got third place kind of wrapped up, though, so strokes won't cost him too much. Here we are, 18. We're playing 18 blue here, and just got to make the island.
I would say is quite a tradition for the locals here as well. It's not uncommon to see the gallery piled up behind the basket.
Yeah, what's amazing about this hole is you could have a gallery behind this basket at 10 a.m. on a Tuesday morning. That's just the way Sedgley is. The local crowd always shows up as Mike, just a little low. We'll be going to a drop zone. Shout out Andy King there. Best spotter in the game. Andy is a local hero of sorts and a former tag challenge champion. Lucas, nothing really else to do but try to ring it up. Crazy line there. Lands in the circle.
Our second player at the drop zone.
All right, we got the home crowd behind me. Hoping to give them just one last celebratory show.
So a formality birdie for you.
Yeah,
So
it was
what was the?
definitely.
I was going to say what's the crowd's energy with you at this point?
Well, it's great. I mean, I'm not as much of a local anymore, but for the few years that I was in school down there, I was certainly a transplant to the local scene, and from playing the tags for many years, happy to be the first kind of local winner in quite some time here. So, Sedgley supported me for a while. They helped me out at AmNats, and Sedgley Glow is one of my sponsors, so feeling the local love for sure, and just an awesome moment.
And you have Chris Robbins there giving you the hand with Eric Brevin.
Yep, Eric Bevan, also known as Viking, does so much for the course here, and Chris Robbins, TD for the event. He just told me how happy he was to have a home team winner here, so super special moment. Dave Prue there mans the store for Sedgley. We got chicken.
This is wild for me right now. I first came to Sedgley in 2018 as a college student at Drexel, and I remember meeting some of the guys and just being blown away how good they were. I really wasn't into disc golf at the time, and I met this one guy who had the 9 tag, and I thought to myself, one day, if I practice a lot, maybe I can get the 9 tag at Sedgley. And to be the Philly Open winner now is just crazy. It's been a while since a local has won this event, so I'm just overjoyed that I was able to win it for the boys. And also, with Carman winning last year, that's back-to-back for Team Discmania, so always good stuff.
What a journey you had. Tell me any closing remarks that you got.
Yeah, I think the key to close it out was staying off those red numbers. Had a bogey-free back 9. Was able to hold off Lucas's hot run there, and yeah, just crazy. Super happy to be the Philly Open champion for 2022.
Awesome. Well, thank you everyone for tuning in. Thank you, Harry, for calling the shots with me, and we will see you on the next one.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me, Derek.